joining me on today's very first episode of Striking from Home is a six-time PBA regional titleist, the 2019 KPBA DHC San Ho champion, and highly accoladed collegiate bowler that graduated from McKendree University, and also certainly is the most handsome bachelor currently on the PBA tour, and that is AJ Johnson. So how are you doing, AJ?
Just trying to get through all this craziness and anxiously awaiting for our return back to tournaments and to get back bowling again and have some kind of normalcy.
So I have some questions lined up for you. And so without further ado, let's kind of jump into those. The first one has a lot to do with what I'm wearing, which is my favorite hockey jersey. It is a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey, and I can't believe he's not already complaining about how blinding that it is to him. So talk about what's your favorite hockey team, AJ? Because I know.
My favorite hockey team it's pretty well known. It's the Chicago Blackhawks. Obviously better than the team that's on the front of your jersey, but we won't dive into that. But I'm a huge Hawks fan. Always have been. I never played hockey. I wish I would have when I was younger because I really love watching it. I love all the action and the nonstop and the fact that at how how much of athletes those guys are, to be able to do what they do on ice, they look like they're running on a basketball court. As big of a fan of the Hawks that I am, and as much as I enjoy just watching hockey in general. Whether or not the Hawks make it to the playoffs, I will always watch the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's fun to go see in person because I don't think there's a bad seat in the stadium because you can see everything. So, it's something that it was one sport I never really got to do that I enjoy watching and getting into, and I look forward to those seasons every year.
So for the next question, let's kind of talk about, you're from the state of Illinois. That's where you live. And obviously, being a Blackhawks fan is, in Illinois. So let's talk about bowling alleys. Are they currently open where that you live, in the area that you live?
So as of right now, no. As far as the states surrounding us is concerned, we've been the one waiting the longest. I do know that come the 26th, I believe there's a few centers in the area that are going to be opening up.
Yeah, for sure. I think that'll be great. It's been a long process for us all, and hopefully it's going to be better and even better whenever we all get back to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been to say that it's been tough, I think is an understatement. I think everybody has suffered a little bit with all of this going on, and to have things start to come back and to have jobs come back around and people being able to get back into their businesses and go to work again and restaurants opening has been fantastic. And seeing that and seeing how happy people are to be able to go out and do things again is really great. And a lot of that just goes back to, what our, quote unquote frontliners have done, in the health industry, being able to slow this virus down and being able to help the people that have contracted this disease that, have gotten them healthy again and have slowed the curve. So, kudos to them and what they've been doing and hope that this calms down so that they can also calm down a little bit.
And for the next question, I have a little harder of a question for you. I want to know if you had to name one PBA player to beat for your first official PBA title, who would that player be?
Wow. That's that's tough. Because, there's a few people that come to mind. One, being obviously the person that is regarded as the best in our sport and will most likely go in the record books whenever he decides to retire, hopefully soon, because he has them all now, as the greatest of our sport, and that's Belmo. Yeah. And my first ever TV show, I got to bowl him for the title for the Masters, and we joke around every now and then, and when he gets asked about his titles and stuff, he'll bring up the Masters run that he went on when he won, 3 in a row. And I'll say, yeah, you're welcome. Like kind of giving it back to him a little bit. But, I think he's one for sure because, I want to get that match back. I want that opportunity again.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of goes without saying that after what happened earlier this year, I think I wouldn't mind beating the old Mr. Barnes for the first title. I think that'd be good.
I was hoping you would bring up his name.
Chris is a great dude. He's kind of, every time I see him, I call him Dad. Hey, Dad. Good bowling today, Dad. I just because he's close to my dad's age, and when I first made Team USA, he took me under his wing. I would just my first couple of years being around him and Tommy and those guys, I would just practice near them and just listen. I just wanted to hear what they were saying, how they thought about things, and he kind of was a mentor in a way and showed me things. Helped me with some tour stuff and Team USA things and, how to handle the team aspect away from the individual stuff with tours. So it's cool. It's been cool to call him a really good friend and his family, good friends of ours. And I think my dad enjoys being friends with him probably more than I do because I'm always the brunt of all the crap that he dishes out. So, and you always want to bully your friends, but in those kind of situations, you're like, when your friend is in that situation, you want them to succeed. When you're bullying against your friend, you're like, no, man, I want to beat you. So, bullying against your friends, I think for your first title, EJ, Marshall, Ronnie, any one of those guys, it'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely. And, speaking of a lot of those guys, they're in the PBA league. And I kind of want to know your thoughts on being part of a brand new PBA league team. Because it's the first year that, of course there's Milwaukee, the other team, but now we have the Las Vegas High Rollers, and you got drafted as part of that team, and I think that's awesome. So what are your thoughts on being part of a brand new league team?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I think it was a little bit overdue for us to finally add some more teams into the PBA league to get more guys on teams. I think, I definitely think that is something we needed to do for some time now. You see the mock drafts and some of the guys, the tour guys, they do their mock drafts, and you don't really get a good understanding of where you're going to go and where if you're going to be drafted, where you're going to be drafted, all that good stuff. So to be drafted as high as I was pretty cool. And I had heard a lot of things. The crazy part was no one really knew what M. Leto wanted to do with his teams. And it'll be interesting because there was a lot of media, a lot of talk around this around the drafts, and a lot of things that came up. So once they finally decide to have the league, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
No, I hope that's soon. And for those watching, be sure to check out my PBA mock draft that I did for the league up there if you want to check that out. Did that
hey, speaking of which, I saw that. Your friend and I we need to have a conversation. Man, I thought he was going to be a part of this, and we need to have a conversation. Him and I. Whoa.
Calling out Alec. Oh, I'm going to have to let him know. Oh, that's incredible. I know. And what's crazy is I got every single pick wrong. I did not get a single, including you. I put you on Milwaukee, I believe. And I got it wrong. Man, it was crazy.
I actually thought, in the real draft, I thought that Dick and I was going to be switched. I thought our picks were going to. So the way that it ended up working out, I actually think was a little bit better. I like it. But I watched you guys' draft. It was good till your boy after the pick. I'm like, man, this guy needs to do a little more research.
Dang, yeah, Alec is going to get some heat for that from me and from all of your fans. I know it. Oh, man.
But so it's hard. Like the position I was in is hard because obviously when you're for yourself, you think like, well, yeah, I've been bowling really good and I've had success in that building, and you think you're good enough to go that high, but you don't know what the managers think or what the other guys think, because they hold those titles and those things against everybody so harshly. So yeah, it was a tough position. Obviously, yeah, I would like to have gone. Would have liked to have been the first pick, but everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't go that way.
And one more question for you about if you were a food, what food would you be and why? Any food.
Any food?
Yeah, any food.
Anything my sister makes. My sister is a really good cook. I mean, she makes some good food. But I got to say there's one thing I think that I enjoy eating, no matter how it's prepared, and it's chicken. That I think I got to go with that. As much as I enjoy eating a lot of different things, and I've traveled the world and tried many different foods, I think I have to say something that food that I would be grilled chicken for all the protein.
There you go. I love it. That is an awesome answer. Okay, well, now to our next segment, if you will. I have a little mini game planned. And so in the spirit of your PBA League team, the Las Vegas High Rollers for this year, I prepared a game involving a deck of cards. So, and that was upside down. A deck of cards, that's better. Let me be fair for everybody watching. I'll show you the cards. Everything's different, I promise.
No sleight of hand stuff, man.
No duplicate cards, I promise. Just a standard bicycle deck of cards. I'm going to shuffle them here and choose one at random for you 5 times. And whenever I choose one, I'm going to ask you a question about it. You get the question right, like red or black, or is it a club, diamond, heart, spade? And if you get it right, then I'll ask you a quote-unquote nice question. If you get it wrong, I'll ask you a little worse of a question. So let's start off with our first one of the deck. And I've chosen here at random. So tell me, is this card red or is it black?
I mean, I gotta go with the outfit today. I gotta go with black.
You're correct.
Oh, that's right.
Black. 4 of the spades. He gets the first one right. So question is, who are you most excited with to bowl on the Las Vegas High Rollers?
You're not making these questions easy. I'm putting that in. For the record, you are not making any of these questions easy, man. One that I don't necessarily know a whole lot about, and I actually am excited to bowl with, is Ildemaro, just because I just don't know a whole lot about that side of him.
Sweet. All right, so round 2. Is this card a face card or is it a number card?
Ooh. We gotta go with face card. Face card. High card. Good. So that's Queen. Right. 2 for 2. Let's go.
2 for 2 so far. So question is, where's your favorite place to bowl?
Not many people know about it, and I think it's because it's in a small town. But every year we go there, we have a great time. When you're not bowling, you're always outside having a good time, having a couple beverages with everybody, and that's Coldwater, Ohio. And not to mention that the bowling center, 16 lanes, and probably one of the hardest bowling centers you'll ever bowl in your life.
There you go. All right, Coldwater, Ohio. Awesome. So round 3. So only 2 more after this one, 5 total. So is this card, is it a club, diamond, heart, or spade?
Oh, 4 options. This is making this gambling thing worse. Let's go with a club.
No way. No way.
It's
a club. I promise I did not do this beforehand, guys. I promise. This is not
my God. No, see, and this is crazy because, like, I'm not a big gambler. Man, I guess this Las Vegas high roller thing was meant
Yeah.
to be.
So your question is, what is the largest amount of money you've ever made in a bowling tournament?
Korea was pretty good because my friends say that I'm a millionaire in Korea. Unfortunately, I haven't, won one of these $100,000 tournaments that I think that's the only time Prather decides he's going to show up to bowl. But Korea, because it was 50 million Korean won.
So next card that I have here in my hand, and just for the record, I promise that we didn't do any of this beforehand. So is this card? You got three options. Is this card either an ace through a 5, a 6 through a 10, or a face card?
Because they're my favorite cards, I'm gonna say ace through 5.
Dude, what?
Ace of diamonds, let's go!
Wow!
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, number 4. You are 4 for 4 right now.
Man.
Where and when was your first ever 300 game?
I was 14 years old. I was bowling in our area association's travel league. So we had a travel league where we would go to different centers throughout the area every Sunday. So Fox Bowl and Wheaton, bowling on lane 7 and 8. And that was when you had the front 9 and you bowled your 10th frame, the whole bowling center stopped. And I didn't know what was going on because we're bowling a league as a kid, and you throw a shot, you come back, you talk to your friends, you hang out with everybody. It was a good time. So I had no idea what was going on. And then I get up to bowl, and the whole center stops bowling. And I'm like, what's going on? Why did everybody stop bowling? And I throw the 10th one, and I come back, and people are clapping and cheering, and nobody's bowling. I'm like, what is going on? And so I look up, and I see all these strikes. I went, oh, shit. This is really happening. And my dad, and I looked to the back because my dad, that was like the one thing we always did when I was younger. Like, he always took me to the league, and I was looking for him. I couldn't find him. I had no idea where he was. He was so far back, and he didn't want to be up near because he didn't want me to see or see anything coming from him. So he was behind all of the people that had stopped bowling to watch. So I throw the 11th one, and now everyone's going crazy. So I'm like, whoa, I better not script this last one. I throw the last one, and I thought I blew it. I thought it was getting 5, and then it hooked back and struck, and the whole place went crazy. And my dad was back, there, hands in the air, freaking out. It was pretty cool. I don't know that I'll ever forget that. And then the best part about it was the ball that I threw it with. The very next morning, when I went to go practice, I took it out of the locker. It was cracked all the way around the ball.
Wow!
Couldn't even throw it again.
Oh my goodness! Do you still have that ball?
I believe it's somewhere. I have to locate it, but I believe it's somewhere. It was a hammer, no mercy.
All right. Well, and by the way, just a quick story about my first competition 300. My dad left the building. So, my dad, I got up in the 9th frame, not even the 10th, the 9th frame, and my dad left the building because he thought it was going to be a bad omen. All right. So, now for the last card. All right,
if I get this right, I'm going to buy some lottery tickets and scratch off for some scratch offs tonight. I might end up being a millionaire.
Yeah, and not just a Korean millionaire, a U.S. millionaire. Yes. All right. So for this one, I'll give you a hint, and I'll say it's not a face card, so it has a number on it. Okay. So now you have to tell me what the number is.
So, is ace excluded from this?
That's a face card. So. We're not counting ace.
So you're throwing ace in as a face instead of a 1. Okay, so I got 2 through 10. Because of the way this year's gone, and for what he's done for the game of basketball, and his loss being a tragedy, I'm gonna go with 8, the original Kobe Bryant number.
Man, it's a 2.
Ah,
So
dang.
close. But now that means I finally get to ask you something from the fun list, as I like to call it.
The fun list.
So,
Yeah.
yes. Tell us, what is your most embarrassing moment of your bowling career?
So the PBA league last year, we got eliminated, and for the weekend we were sticking around. My family came out. My nephew got to come out and watch, so he wanted to stick around and watch some more of the matches and be on TV. So a friend of mine found this article of clothing that he thought I would like, but I had thought that for that environment was probably the right time and place to wear it. So I show up for the semifinal shows, and friends that we've met in Maine and that we've made in Maine over going there for the last few years, they're like, yeah, come down, just come sit on the show with us. We got a whole theme going on. And they had people dressed up as like Santa suits and this holiday Christmas theme. Well, this jacket that I was wearing had us a holiday theme too. It had like snowflakes and Christmas trees, as well as Blackhawks logos. I had this Blackhawks blazer that was bought for me. I didn't buy it. It was bought for me. And no matter what anybody tells you, I did not buy this. It was given to me as a gift. I wore it because I was like, you know what? Why not? I don't care. Like, this is the place. This is the right time for it. Well, the TV shows get ready to start. Darren, Prather, Marshall, and there was one other person that came up, and they said, hey, man, we know you've, like, worked out a little bit. You lost some weight. Like, hey, if you're going to wear that blazer, you got to rock it with no shirt underneath. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're asking way too much. They're like, come on, just one time. And I'm like, I thought about it for a while, and people that were around, people that I knew that were around me, I mentioned it to them. They're like, hey, they're like, oh, absolutely. Like, that would be the best. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. I'm just trying to have fun. So I go over to the paddock, take the polo shirt off, put the blazer back on, no shirt underneath, grab a beverage, Jack and Coke, obviously, and enjoy the TV shows with my blazer on and no shirt underneath.
Look out, ladies.
And afterwards, everybody blew up about that. All in a good way, but that's probably something, yeah, I mean, embarrassing, maybe. If I had to pick an embarrassing moment, that could be it. But at the time, I was like, you know what? Screw it. Why not?
All right. Well, that concludes our mini game. I still don't know how you did it, but you got 4 out of 5 of those right. I do want to thank you for your time helping me out doing this. It was really incredible having you as my first guest on this series. Hopefully I can get some really cool other pros to join me and striking from home. So,
oh yeah, that's awesome, man.
My advice for you is to go buy a lottery ticket.
That's right. Apparently, man, you got the gambling with the cards and get 4 out of 5. I mean, that's not up to standards with Vegas odds.
I know, yeah. But hopefully that luck transpires into the PBA League for you and your team, the Las Vegas High Rollers. And we shall see in the future. I would love to see and can't wait to see that telecast. And so other than that, man, anything else that you want to add?
No, man, I really appreciate it. I think it's great, what you're doing, striking from home with the interviews with guys. And I hope that we can get this out and get some more guys for you to interview and to grow a little bit more. And, glad I could do it. Glad we could get this worked out. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you soon and on the lanes, or even not on the lanes, and when we can travel again.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you, sir.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.